We are back. I am sure all of our dedicated listeners realize we had no show last week. We had another guest in the studio, and I would like to thank Tyler Farias for coming into the studio last week. However, I had a major file corruption, which was not salvageable, and we had to scrap the entire episode. However, I promise we will get Tyler back. We will.
It was a great interview, too.
It really was. I know. I'm devastated. But you know what they say? To move forward, you have to fail a few times to make progress.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think I have everything fixed, but only time will tell when we have another guest in the studio.
We shouldn't have any problem tonight.
No,
We're
back to only two people. We should be good. We do have a packed show. We have our one and done contest update. We also have to touch on Pebble Beach and Live Adelaide, as well as the Genesis Invitational with some recaps.
It's because we missed last week, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We have a final wrap-up of the 2026 Winter Games in Milan and Cortina with an unreal finish by the women and men's Olympic hockey teams, both winning gold in overtime. And did you watch the men's hockey game?
Did.
You did? All right. Yes. We got time watching some TV.
By 9:40 in the morning, I'd watched more Olympics in that morning than I had aggregately the rest of the 2 weeks.
2.5 weeks prior.
Yeah.
Right. However, we are going to start with a few boneheads, and we will finish up the episode with our first futures for the 2026 baseball season. Please, as always, like, comment, and subscribe to all of our platforms. Our handle is @PlayItDownGolf on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We are trying to get to 750 subscribers before the football season starts back up. So please, I'll give everyone a count of 5 to hit that subscribe button. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Grab your beverage of choice and let's play it down. We do have some housekeeping to do, but before we do housekeeping, I have a question.
Sure.
I have 2 questions.
Yep.
I notice you are wearing the Newport hat, which is very nice.
Right.
But no play it down hat?
No play it down hat tonight. I'm going to rotate it around. I think it's you're wearing the play it down hat. So maybe next week I wear the play it down hat and you wear a different one.
All right, we can do that.
Yep.
And I notice you're not drinking wine.
No, I've got Dunkin' Donut tea, which is probably my second favorite drink after red wine. And it's not because I've stopped drinking red wine. It's because I'm taking a night off after having been in the city last night for a work function. And afterwards, hanging out, a couple of the listeners were actually at this. We had a meeting for 4 hours and then we went to dinner. And it got a little bit, an extra drink or two, let's just say. And so today I was feeling a little bit off and I decided I was going to switch over and drink tea tonight. So,
well, I am happy you let me know that because, we can't go podcast without wine.
Oh.
So I pulled out my Apothic Rush. I'm a blend kind of guy.
And you gave yourself a good pour there, too.
I did. Well, I'm going to finish it, so... This is Crush by Apothic. Apothic makes red blends, and I like all their wines actually. And I had this one upstairs, so I figured, you know what? If you're going to drink tea, I'm going to drink some wine.
All right, and it looks good. It's not that tempting right now, but it still looks good.
It is good. So everyone, grab your beverage of choice, and we're going to keep going. So some more housekeeping. We had some comments from viewers from 2 weeks ago.
Right. And we covered them last week, but unfortunately there was only
no one
a few
knows.
of us. Yeah, that's right. So we have to kind of repeat some of this material.
Correct. So this is from Heidi.
Yep.
Right. She was
one of our listeners.
She's one of our listeners, and obviously 3 weeks ago we had O'Leary in the studio.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
It seems like 4 weeks ago.
Mine's already hitting me. Feels like it was a month ago. We had Sean O'Leary in the studio, and Heidi took some, did not like some of the comments he made.
Right. So Heidi is my sister-in-law, and she and my nieces are big Olympic fans. And 2 of the 3 nieces also listen to this podcast regularly. So
why not all 3?
I don't know. The one in college maybe has other things to do. I don't know what it is.
I can't imagine.
My daughter, who's in Vegas right now for the first time and saying she's loving it, is a non-listener of the podcast. So, some people just miss out.
We'll reel them in.
Yeah.
Again, 750 subscribers. Here we come.
Yep. But anyway, getting back to the Olympic conversation, yeah, there was took exception to a few of the comments, and I actually bore the brunt of some of the comments too. It was O'Leary and
Yeah,
myself.
you guys both poo-pooed the
You
Olympics.
became a hero out of this.
I'm
Somehow.
not gonna lie. I'm gonna read Natalie's comment after this because that's a good comment.
Yes. So there was several parts to this.
Yeah, obviously one of them was Lindsey Vonn
dating Tiger
dating
Woods,
Tiger.
and that's the only reason anyone knew of her, which is a ridiculous comment.
Heidi mentions that she was the GOAT of downhill for 20 years, which she's correct.
Right. And she just came out of that leg. She almost got her leg amputated from this fall, and she came out of it, and they saved the leg. So,
thank God. Can you imagine that? You push yourself after the ACL tear, and you lose your leg.
And I think she hit the gate, and that's what happened, right? Or hit the.
So her right arm went through the gate. It's 5 inches. She missed your line. She missed her line by 5 inches. Her arm went in the gate and twisted her whole body.
You wonder if the injury somehow still had a role in that. It just, although she did several practice runs,
and it happens. Like that's again, that's the race, right? It's a timed race. You got it. You go.
So getting back to the Olympic chatter, the other part of the that I think rankled was everybody was watching in the 1980s the Olympics,
right? The whole time difference. Right. You can't watch live events, and
everyone was watching. Everyone was watching,
and that was part you. She kind of jumped on you for that one.
Yes,
because that was you saying you can't watch it live. I don't like just tape delay stuff, and she's like, if you want to watch it, you can watch it.
Yes, and there is ways to watch stuff now, but you're kind of at the mercy of having to maybe go onto a paid stream in order to see it live.
Again, that was one of my issues because I was trying to watch the women's semifinal match, and it started on NBC, then moved to Peacock, and I was at work and I don't have my info. I have it at home, but I don't have it at work, and I couldn't watch it. So I was upset about that they moved it in the middle. Yeah. But I will say this is her last thing. She gives me a lot of kudos. So I give Scott kudos for mostly ignoring the negative comments from the two of you and forging ahead with his Olympic coverage. So
and forged ahead you did.
I did. Yeah. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you very much. And we do have an Olympic update later. Hopefully you will approve, as well as Natalie. Natalie, I will read Natalie's comment verbatim because it's just one line.
Right.
O'Leary clearly doesn't like women's sports. Not a fan. Scooter Rocks love his Olympic coverage.
That's right.
So that's phenomenal.
Well, O'Leary's going to have to, we bring him in here again.
He's
got work to do.
Or
now, I will say that there was a counter to this, which was there was a couple listeners that found him very entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's Ethan Edens, who's a listener and works for me, said you got to have O'Leary on more often.
They want him more often. They want more show. Right.
Now, I don't know if he got all the way through the podcast to the Olympic section. And that might be, and that might have changed it because he's an Olympic guy as well.
It's not good change, but he did throw a lot of kudos Sean's way. But let's any other housekeeping things that I don't.
No, I mean the last thing I would say, there was a text chain going on within the family for the finals of the hockey, and there was an element of bandwagon fans, like when I said, I finally got something worth watching, and it was
finally oh my God, you're killing me.
And that was sort of the commentary back and forth. So
any good shots?
It was kind of maybe the bandwagon fans almost don't deserve to be watching that because they've just sort of dissed the Olympics all the way through, and now suddenly you join. And I feel that way when you see, people watching Chiefs games now because they might get a glimpse of Taylor Swift and they don't know they don't know the difference between a hold and an offside. So I get it, but I found this to be different somehow because maybe it was because I was the one that was the bandwagon fan in this case.
And listen, everyone's a fan of the country. So I'm okay with you jumping on board. A little late, but I'm still okay with it.
Okay. That's good to have your approval, Scooter.
You have my approval.
Yeah.
Let's move over to the one and done contest. Again, Play It Down one and done contest is still open, so feel free to.
It's never too late to get in. I mean, you could tell from these standings, they got turned upside down.
They did. So, Sean, was in first place last week.
No longer.
But no longer. Tyler, who's a member of Picatinny, guy we golf with, has taken the top
Tyler,
spot.
our guest here, who's a
Not
Tabor.
Tyler, not Furious, who's also a Tyler, but not the one
in this
contest. He's not in first place.
No, he's not.
Tyler's in first place. He's got 2.296 million. Then we have Sean. JJ Nunzio's dropped a spot, but still holding strong.
Yeah.
And then Casey O'Reilly, our Tabor Pro, is moving up a little bit. He moved up from, actually, he stayed in fourth place. Third place, which was Rick McNulty, fell down a spot to fifth.
I think Rick's guy didn't even make the cut. He might have had Henley. But Tyler, the reason Tyler's in first place is he had Rory, and Rory won $1.8 million, tied for second.
Yep.
And that just
because of a ridiculous 40-footer on the last hole.
Yeah, and that was a lot. That was worth a lot of money, and it pushed Tyler into first place, and Sergeant O'Leary no longer.
And I am still holding a very firm lead over Jonesy and our little head-to-head as well.
Yeah, and I wish I'd been smart enough to take Rory in this one because I had him in other contests, but instead I went with with someone that was not. There was a lot of guys that had a chance in this tournament.
And let's be honest, I had Scotty.
Yeah.
And he almost missed the cut.
Yeah, I know. Now, he did wind up tied for 12th. He gave you some money back out of this.
Absolutely. The contest is still open for the most part. If you can get in before the first quarter is done, which is 7 events, we've done 3. So you still got a few events.
We had a new entrant, Mia Sullivan, this week joined and submitted a pick.
Yep.
So I think we're up to 29 now. 28 or 29.
Which is great. We love it. Okay, that's our one and done contest. Again, link will be in the description. If you haven't joined, please join. We move on now to our favorite segment, Boneheads.
Yeah. And this is funny because these are actually now, I won't say dated, but they were boneheads from last week. And we're just gonna bring them forward because they're still boneheads.
Correct. And
right? You don't get to be less boneheady just because we wait a week to publish this. Or
you're still a bonehead.
Right.
Here we go. First one's all you.
Yeah. So what we have here is we got a track walker lane blocker. And with a leg, one of the things I've been doing with a bad leg as the quad tendon continues to heal, is I've been trying to go to a spot where I can walk, measure how long I'm walking, and have it be on a good, strong surface, right? So this is a perfect picture because it's exactly the way it is. It's the YMCA. It's above the gym. You're kind of walking around the track. If there's some game going on down on the gym floor, you kind of get a little bit of a chance to watch it, and you're working on,
you're moving.
You're walking. Yeah.
You're just moving.
But the problem is there are people on this track, and I don't understand it, why you need to have a cell phone when you're walking. And I've been doing this now for about 2 months. And I would say 90% of the people that are on this track, whether they're running or walking, are holding a phone.
Now, are they listening to music, or are they actively looking at screens?
Well,
it looks like he's actively looking at
I ran into that where there was one other person on the track, and I still had gridlock walking around the track because this guy decided it was a good idea. He decided it was a good idea to actually look at his phone, whatever he's looking through. Now someone said maybe, I think Tyler last week when we taped this, said maybe he was listening to the podcast. Now that would be,
that's acceptable.
Yes,
that's acceptable.
But he needs to watch it because he wants to watch us, right?
Yeah, we like the YouTube views.
But I just don't believe that was happening.
I don't think it was happening.
So he continuously. So I tried to get by him. He was standing not in the fast lane or slow lane, but in the middle of the track. And
so there is a fast and slow lane.
There is.
But he was right in the middle.
He was in the middle. He's looking at his phone, much like this person is. That's a really good. I know that's not the real person, but it's like exactly.
No, we don't. I did cartoon it. You did send me a photo, but I cartooned it because I don't want any.
Right. Well, we don't want our listeners to be
could be called out. We don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, but the other part of it I don't understand. I get listening to music. I do that, but you put your phone in your pocket. And then you walk.
Right.
Why do we need to hold the phone, look at the phone, switch the phone, and
Well, you don't for music.
disrupt the flow of the track. We got people that are supposed to go one direction or go in the other. It's an odd day, even day thing. One lady
Really?
the other night came on with her phone watching her son practice down below and walked in the wrong direction. So now I'm walking right towards her. There's only two of us again, but somehow
And you get gridlocked
there
again.
was still traffic.
So track walker blocker dude, we don't know who you are, but you are Bonehead number 3.
Yes. This is kind of like the guy who played the soccer in the Uggs.
Yes,
I think it's a similar situation.
You do run into these individuals,
yes.
don't you? You do. Bonehead number 2 is a gentleman from K-State, good old Jerome Tang.
Yeah.
And I don't think he likes to drink.
No, I think that this guy, and it's a shame, but this guy just lost his way as the coach of Kansas State. His team was sporting like a 1-11 record.
Question.
Yeah.
Could this be a byproduct of all this NIL stuff?
It could
where
be.
The kids just
they're just not as focused sometimes. I mean, this
not dedicated.
This team 3 years ago was an Elite 8 team, Kansas State.
He re-upped he's under contract till 2030.
Yeah, because of the success, and you would get the fan base going at games. I remember watching him on a Monday night, Big Monday, and they would beat Kansas or whoever at home. Never beat them in Kansas. No one beats Bill Self in Kansas on Monday night.
No,
but he would win big games. They were a regular tournament team, and this year
Elite 8. Did they?
They made the Elite 8 3 years ago. Yep, and then this year's just been a disaster. But the real problem was he completely just lost it in a press conference, calling out his players, saying they didn't deserve to wear the uniform. The administration had to respond. They fired him for cause. He's going to fight it.
Which he should.
He should, because I don't know that it's specific enough to...
I think cause is a stretch.
Right. But his behavior was definitely inappropriate to do that to your players.
It was.
And he criticized the only person he didn't seem to criticize was himself, but we're now doing that.
We are.
Right.
And again, I did watch the press conference. He did go after his players.
They'd also gotten beat by about 30 points by Cincinnati, who, by the way, just beat Kansas by 20 points. So it's a little bit hard to follow what's going on in these games because there's a lot of volatility. I mean, you lose at home to Cincy, and then you go and crush Houston on Monday night.
Yeah,
I think it was a look-ahead game probably for Kansas, but anyway. That takes care of
Jerome Tang.
Jerome. He's
Bonehead number 2.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
But he's not the lead Bonehead.
He's not. So the lead Bonehead is, we go back to the Olympics, and good old Canada, our friends to the north of us, was accused of cheating by Sweden.
And this wasn't in hockey.
And it was not in hockey.
Right.
Now, I'm going to bring up another slide, which will show you the video. So we'll just have the video loop here. And the issue here is touching the stone or the granite part, not the handle. So you see his hand come off the handle, and you see his finger extend and touch the actual stone. Now, for the most part, this is only the video you see in matches. You always see when they're sliding down. You never see what's going on behind the stone. Well, Sweden called him out. Now, what I found out is, apparently, this has been a known thing for Canada for some time. So Sweden, for their telecast back to Sweden, had their cameras positioned to get that shot that was on the line because they wanted to catch them.
Right. And Scooter, what do you think? Is it that by touching that granite right before it, just after you've released it, and now your finger comes down, there's just enough of an adjustment that you can make to kind of get that, you're a little extending yourself a little bit further to get that stone going in the right direction.
For two things. One, again, curling is an extreme, precise sport. Yep. It's about the curl or the rotation you put on it and the speed. So if you get into the habit where you know how to just add a little bit to it because you don't think you had enough power on the slide, you can do that with your finger. If you don't think you have enough rotation on it, because of the line you're trying to play, you can just give it a little bit more. And that's why it's illegal. It clearly is a benefit. Now, mind you, the Canadian women's team got called for this during a match after this happened. And what happens when you get called on it is the stone is taken out of play, meaning it's just a dead rock.
Yeah.
So
And
there might be something to this.
And that makes you, when you take a stone out of play, that's
very serious.
Yes.
Because again, it's all about the last stone. It's all about positioning and where you're setting up a block of a stone to make it harder for a stone to curl in. That's a lot of stuff about that. So Canada. Oh, the other thing I will mention, and it's at the end of this video, is you see Sweden calling them out on it. And the Canadian guy, Mark Kennedy, I believe his name is. I'm pretty sure I got that right. I know his first name is Mark. I think his last name is Kennedy. Told them to F off. And in the circles of curling, it's a gentleman's game. It's honor above, you call your own penalties.
Right. Yep.
So it's very like golf-esque.
Yeah.
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 And the fact that he told him to F off, which is this scene right here, was completely seen as an extremely offensive thing to do, especially to Sweden.
Well, and sometimes you get a little bit, you get like that when you know
you're wrong.
Yeah.
And and I will say they did win the gold. Canada did win the gold in curling, and they kind of still doubled down and said, I hope everyone's, laughing or crying as we're on the podium. So they had some comments even after that. So they kind of doubled down. But Canada, I'll say both women and men, you are boneheads number one for cheating. Don't cheat.
Right.
That's it.
And it doesn't seem like they're apologizing for it.
They are 100% not apologizing. They're being like, yeah, suck it. Okay, we have. This will be quick.
Right.
Because we did mess up the show last week. When I say we, I really mean me. But we'll go over this real quick. Colin Morikawa won the Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Right.
Obviously, he played great.
In pretty dramatic fashion, too, especially on that last hole.
Right. He needed a birdie on 18, and he got it.
Yep. And he had to wait 20 minutes to hit a shot.
Jacob Bridgman. So Jacob Bridgman, in case anyone didn't see it, he hits his drive down the fairway, fine drive, goes for the green in 2, comes up short severely, or hits a rock and it kicked all the way down to the beach.
Ocean. Yeah.
And, so he tries to hit it from the beach, hits another rock, that goes in the ocean. He then has to drop back where it crossed from his initial second shot. So he's
now hitting 5.
He's now
because there's a penalty stroke there.
Right. So he's hitting So he's 1 fairway, second one beach, third one ocean, drops 4, hits 5 onto the green,
and makes an unbelievable bogey
for a 6.
And it took him 5 minutes to putt the ball because the wind kept moving the ball. And meanwhile, Morikawa was out there trying to close up a tournament
for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and still made the birdie on 18 and won the tournament. It was a great finish.
And he's struggled so much over the last
changing caddies. Yes, you don't know who his caddy is.
Right.
I do have to do something though, and I'm not happy about it, but I will do it. Mr. Jones and I had a bet. I gave him 10-1, which was stupid on my part, but I did that. Cam Young would beat Tony Finau. He did not. So I will mention that I lost the bet. Tom?
I almost feel like we need to put that right over that podcast thing. Maybe we can tape that up on the wall as a podcast memory to live on.
I lost to Tom. All right. I'm now paid.
Thank you.
My 10-1 odds that Tony Finau apparently decided to show up at this tournament, and Cam Young did not.
Well, Cam Young wasn't horrible at the tournament. He just, and in fact,
Finau played well.
He was tied for 7th place this last week. Mm-hmm. Cam Young was and had a great Sunday. So
I should have picked it this week.
Yeah.
But even if I did, it wouldn't have been recorded, so we couldn't have done anything about that. Real quick, Live Adelaide. Obviously, the big story was Anthony Kim
great story.
His first tournament since 2010. It was over 5,700 days since he was in a final grouping.
Yep.
On a Sunday.
That's right. It's three in the group, right? Yeah.
And he started the day 5 strokes behind John Rahm and Bryson, who were tied. And he chased him down, and he made 25-foot putt, 17-foot putt, 15-foot putt on the back nine. He could not miss.
Do you know I watched more live golf than Olympics this week? I actually watched some of that live golf those 2 nights, and I got a little roped into this story with Anthony Kim. I have to be honest.
Just because we like to bring up Brooks, Anthony Kim is now ranked 203rd in the world, and Brooks is 263rd. I just wanted to throw that out there. Again, I will say,
and he's battled everything. Oh, right? Everything. Alcoholism and
drugs.
Oh, yes, drugs and alcohol.
But if you see a picture of him, he was severely into drugs for many years, and he had a daughter, and pretty much since the birth of his daughter, he's kind of gotten his act back together. Again, he was out of pro golf for 12 years.
That's what's unbelievable.
Didn't swing a club.
And he looked so confident by the time he finished that tournament, too.
And it's just 3 years. This is 3 years since he's been in live. Ripper GC won the team tournament again, just because I like the team guy. Shot of that tournament, just because it was brought up again on some YouTube golf that I watched this week. Anthony Kim was on a par 4. He hit it left. He had a shot between 2 trees, and he had to keep the ball probably no higher than 9 feet. And he punched an iron through those 2 trees, lower than the branch, and I think it was on the green or it was on the fringe of the green.
And he made par.
Wow. It was a phenomenal shot, and that was the shot of the tournament. So
you think Anthony Kim made a little more money than I did from you then?
Yeah, he did. I think the first place purse is $4 million. Yeah, I think he did okay. Let's move on to the Genesis, which was this week's tournament. Obviously, a couple of big things. Jacob Bridgman, even after that disaster on 18,
yes.
And he ran away really with this tournament. He had a 7-shot lead on Sunday. Now, he did not play his best. He was +1 on the day.
And there were some guys making charges. Kitayama had an unbelievable day.
Kitayama finished second at
and Rory.
And Rory hit the putt on 18, but he was pretty much out of it. He couldn't win it.
Right.
But he did make the putt on 18 to tie for second as well.
Right. What he needed was the 3-putt, which could have happened.
Yes.
Bridgman left himself a nervy 3.5 footer.
Three, I think they say it was 3 feet 9 inches.
Yeah.
So it was almost a 4-footer.
Right.
And he drilled it center of the cup. He had 19 feet.
The fact that he did that after he had that disastrous and almost could have very well been responsible for Morikawa not winning, and then he comes back the next week and wins. Morikawa overcomes the thing with Bridgman the week before. I mean, it's quite, you can't make that up.
You can't script it.
No,
you can't. Again, I have a little issue with this stuff with signature events. Adam Scott again got a sponsor's invite, ends up in 4th place. Now he's probably going to be in most of the other. Now,
yes,
again, I don't.
263s though. He earned it.
Oh, I mean, he played great.
Yeah.
No doubt. Again, this kind of goes back to last year with Ricky Fowler getting the sponsor's invite to a signature event. Now, signature events have more FedEx Cup points. Everything's elevated, right?
Yes.
So you move up because you get a sponsor's invite, not because you earned it.
Right.
And we know.
I think that's a fair point. But you're going to have to allow these sponsors who are paying a lot of money.
It's their tournament. I mean, they're paying.
Right.
The good golf tournament this year, I think they had to secure like a $5 million investment. And that's not even counting the person stuff. I mean, listen, they're putting up money. The sponsors should be able to do whatever they want.
Exactly.
The big story that did come out of this tournament though was that the greens were actually a somewhat of a letdown. They were a little bumpy. You saw a lot of balls bumping around on them.
Absolutely.
So,
that's what makes Bridgman putting even those short putts even more, because you got to just drill it through that.
And he did.
Yeah.
So that's your Genesis recap. However, this week we have the Cognizant.
Now, for those people that are listening and not watching, you did mention too that Scotty's streak came to an end.
Yes,
I don't know if you mentioned it, but you had it on the slide.
Yeah, I saw it actually. Yeah, with that. Yeah, his streak ended at 18.
Of top 10s, and you finished 12th after
12th.
Almost missing the cut.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Cognizant Classic is at the PGA National in Palms Beach, Florida. And the champion's course is a par 71, 7,223 yards. It's all Bermuda grass. The fairways and greens obviously are overseeded Bermuda grass, and the greens are Bermuda grass. It's a Tom Fazio designed course from 1981. However, Jack Nicholson designed or helped design the bear trap, which is
Jack
holes.
Nicholson or Jack Nicholas?
I said Nicholson, didn't I? I think I've done that before. I'm
Nicholson
gonna go with
might
Jack
maybe
Nicklaus.
Nicholson did too.
That'd be cool if it was Nicholson.
You're like
now.
me. You could call people whatever you
Whatever
want.
you want.
Yeah.
The weather, I think, is typical Florida weather. The winds don't seem like they'll be a huge factor. However, there are afternoon thunderstorms on both Friday and Saturday.
But that could just soften up the course. I mean, it also could cause delays, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that you're more worried about the delays on Friday than you are on Saturday, because you want them to be able to finish the first 2 days.
Yeah.
And Sunday there's call for rain in the morning. I didn't add to the slide because most likely it won't really affect play. So and it will be partly cloudy. A little cooler on Sunday, but should be a fine afternoon. A couple fun facts about the tournament. As I already mentioned, it's got the infamous bear trap designed by Jack Nicklaus. It's considered one of the toughest 3-hole structures on the PGA Tour. However, this tournament was actually founded in 1972 by Jackie Gleason. It was the Jackie Gleason
awesome
Inverurie Classic, which was originally played at, we just looked it up, the Inverurie Country Club. Then it became the Honda Classic for 40 years until it came as the Cognizant in 2023. And finally, last year, Joe Highsmith.
Right. What a story that was.
What a story, right? He made it on the cut line and went on to win. First player in 9 years to do that.
Which is unbelievable.
Unreal. So a couple of fun facts there.
And one other thing, just a sidebar. Did you ever watch The Honeymooners?
Oh,
that is my absolute favorite show. I will still go back and watch. And every once in a while, there's one episode I haven't seen. I've seen them all, right?
I mean, but the golfing episode is still.
There are some really. There are, and Jackie Gleason, just the fact that he was, he's in the history of this particular tournament, just brought back memories. Yeah, I almost now want to go find. I think they still show The Honeymooners on certain.
So when is it they do the 24 hours of The Honeymooners? It's right around New Year's or Christmas. It's like that time frame. They literally, I don't know if it's PIX, Pix.
It's on Pix, yeah.
It's like it's awesome. And the reason he did this was he was a member of the Inverurie Country Club, which is where this was founded.
Right.
And his celebrity, and he lived in Lauderdale, Florida.
And Lauderhill, and it was a residential community. So the course is named after that community. Yeah. It's a pretty good history story.
A couple past winners. We have, obviously, we just mentioned Joe Highsmith. Austin Eckroat took a 3-shot margin and won at -17. Chris Kirk, Sepp Straka, and Matt Jones. Now, Matt Jones is on LIV. He plays for Ripper GC, which is the Cam Smith-led team. Yes, I had to throw that out there. Sepp Straka won in 2022. Matt and Sepp are not playing. Obviously, Matt's on LIV, and Sepp Straka
we just collapsed last week. There may be still some stuff going on.
He kills me.
Yeah.
I had Xander, Rory, and Sepp top 20 parlay. I think it was 10-1 or 9-1, and it was a lock until.
And then Straka just shot that 80
Saturday. He shot an 80 on Saturday and never. And then shot 73 on Sunday. He was plus 11 the last 2 days.
Yeah,
on the weekend, and it fell all the way down to 50th. But not in the top 20.
Well, I know last week I had some luck with Jake Knapp, which and Rory was on my card as an outright, and I had something. I mean, it came down to a possibility that he was going to win that tournament, and that would have been a nice payback. And then Jake Knapp kind of neutralized a lot of the winners for me, and then I had Finau and Clark in a 10-1 parlay. Now I did not suffer like you did because Clark just disappeared on Sunday, and Finau didn't quite make it to the top 20 either. But so I didn't have Finau.
You weren't in it, and then just watched it
implode on you because of one golfer, right?
I will mention that the week before I had Minwoo Lee as an outright winner, and he was tied for the lead until Morikawa birdied 18. So I was able to hedge that, and I did make money off of Morikawa winning,
right?
Which is a good little tidbit.
Yeah, it's always nice
if you're watching and you can hedge it.
You should do it. We've talked about that even last year, where I was at a party and kind of lost that opportunity to hedge, and it was a pretty good chunk of money that that I lost out on by not hedging. So yeah, it's absolutely, you just have to make sure when you hedge that you are actually, when you hedge, you have to make sure you're not setting yourself up to lose more money. It has to be a clean hedge.
So getting a text from Steve LeBold. He would like to change his pick for his one and done. So I'm telling him to send me the pick. But I don't like to just pick up my phone and do something. But
Yeah, well, this is important because
this
it's
is
on our
important. It's our
contest.
contest.
Right. All right. So I think we can.
Let's go into our bets.
Yep.
Actually, Tyler Farias did send us a couple of picks that
We thought he was going to be in studio tonight.
Yeah, we was kind of hope to recreate the magic, but we will recreate that magic.
Yep.
But he likes Rasmus Hogard at 2.3 to 1, and he's throwing a
for
flyer
a top 10, right?
For a top 10.
Yep.
And he's throwing a flyer on Blades Brown. Now Blades Brown played the last time at the Farmers. That's Torrey Pines. At Torrey Pines, and was tied for the league going into the weekend with I think with Scotty. Scotty obviously won the Farmers, but he finished 18. Now this is the 18-year-old kid. He's on the Corn Ferry Tour, and this I don't know if this is a sponsor's invite or if he got in because he finished 18th at Torrey. Right. I didn't see anything that was a sponsor's invite, and it could also been he could have been on the alternate list. There was a ton of late.
What makes this is that if you get a guy like that who goes on a heater for a couple of days, even if he doesn't win it, you're getting 7 to 1 on a top 10. I mean, that's the logic there, probably.
Yeah. And the kid can play. The kid can play. We got your picks next, partner.
Yeah, Nikolai Højgaard at 21.5 to 1 on DraftKings. I'm going to put him in a couple of my contests as well. I think he will appear and play it down for me this week. And at least one other that we're in. You and I are both in that particular one as well. Now there were odds as low as 17 to 1 on him. And here's the thing with this tournament is that you would not normally think of a Højgaard, either one of them, at 20 to 1, but this is a weak field.
It is.
Ryan Gerard is the lead at 18 to 1. Yeah. Shane Lowry is 19 to 1. And Lowry's played very well on this course. I decided not to put him on this week's card, but I may put him again in a contest.
I don't think he's playing great.
No, but he's played well here.
Yes.
And he played pretty decent at the end last week. So I think he's starting to find his game. I had to try this with Brooks Koepka. I mean, I know that, you are.
He ain't winning.
Yeah, I know that your thought on that, but I got 30 to 1 on FanDuel. And to put him in this field with all these other guys that are.
Again, he would be the highest ranked if.
Yes.
He should be, right?
Right. That's what I mean. I feel like I gotta, if he happens to, and I think the putting will be easier for him on these, he's not on these bumpy grounds. So he struggled with a putter. I'm going to kind of take a shot at him, 30 to 1 on FanDuel. Then Daniel Berger's a local. He's local. Yeah, he's played this course probably more than anyone else in the field. And 33 to 1, his game has been kind of coming around. He does disappoint a lot of times. He'll be in a good spot and then he'll kind of have that bad round. Yeah. But I got 33 to 1 on DraftKings. I also bet him top 10 at almost 3 to 1. And then I bet Shane Lowry, and this is where I got Lowry on the card, at plus 106. Like that. Again, it's top plus 20.
It's little, but it's plus money.
Yeah, it's plus money, and you can bet a little more than you will on your outrights to try to offset it. And all he's got to do is finish in the top 20. And then a long shot is a parlay at 14 to 1 on 3 golfers to make the top 20. And it's Berger. I can never say Christian Bezuidenhout's name properly.
That's pretty good.
And then Ryan Gerard, who is the favorite in this tournament.
Yes.
You put those 3 together on a parlay. And I will call out that Jade Annunzio had one of these parlays for top 10 last week. And he showed me the card, and he had Tommy Fleetwood was on that card. Cam Young was on it. Morikawa was on it. All 3 of those guys.
That's a good hit.
So now they were top 10. So he got better golfers, but probably better overall odds, more like 20 to 1.
Yeah.
So anyway, 14 to 1 on these 3 guys to finish in the top 20 in a weak field. So that's
who you got.
It. Yep.
These are my picks. So I shockingly also have Højgaard.
We didn't talk beforehand.
No. Again, here is why I kind of did it. This course is really important about accuracy. His shots gained off the tee this year right now is up 1.5 shots. and his shots gained approach is 1.8 overall in the tournaments of 2026. So I took a flyer on him, and I got a little bit better. I did a little earlier than you did. I
Yeah,
got 22 to 1.
Yep.
And then for my top 10, I took Keith Mitchell. Again, this goes more with some of this my modeling I did. His shots gained on approach is plus 1.8. His shots gained overall is 3/4 of a shot on the field, and this sets up, I think, for a nice top 10 pick.
Yep.
I have Zalatoris. This is more of a history play. I like Will.
Getting
I think
healthier.
he's getting healthier.
Yep.
He doesn't. He's only played 3 tournaments this year. He has made 2 of the 3 cuts though. His driving accuracy is probably the one thing that's holding him back right
and his
now.
Putting has always been a little bit hit or miss.
Suspect.
Yeah.
But his shots gained off the tee, he's still on the plus side of that, almost a half a shot. But his accuracy is a little bit of a challenge. Now, I also accidentally did, and it's not going to be a podcast play, but I did top 10 those 2 at 18. I got 18 to 1, and it was kind of an accident.
I actually kind of like that.
If they both make the top 10,
yeah.
I will be very happy.
Right.
Then I have a top 20 parlay. Obviously, I took Hogard,
Nikolai Hogard,
right. Davis Thompson, and Chris Kirk. Obviously, Chris Kirk.
He's a former champion.
Yep. Thompson, I kind of took him for the odds to kind of help me get a little bit better odds, and I got 15 to 1 on it.
Excellent.
And I do have a miss the cut. I did not put Brooks in to miss the cut, but I did take Billy Horschel. Again, I don't think Billy Horschel is playing that well. He's missed 2 of the last 3 cuts. His shots gained off the tee are negative 0.4 shots. His driving accuracy is down to about 10%. So those are why I took Billy Horschel. And Aaron Wright, kind of the same thing. His shots gained off the tee is 1/4 of a shot under the average.
He also collapsed a little bit last week. I actually kind of like that play. You're getting 2.5 to 1 for him to miss in a field that's got a lot of golfers in it.
Yeah. And
it's a weak field.
In Pebble Beach, which is kind of similar here, right? I know the green isn't the same, but it's still similar, coastal, windy. He finished 73rd at Pebble. So
he started out last week and with a chance to win the tournament. I think he was ahead of Kitayama, and he wound up. They showed him, and they stopped showing him. He bogeyed like every single hole he played. It felt like.
Yeah. So those are my picks. They will be sent out Wednesday night. They'll already be out on Instagram and stuff. So hopefully you're all following us at Play It Down Golf, and you'll see all of our picks before the tournament starts. Okay. We are now into my realm as we go into the Olympics. Here is our final medal count. Norway took first place with the most medals at 41. Also, they had the most golds at 18. USA, though, did solid with a phenomenal second place. They were mostly in 3rd and even 4th place during the Olympics, but they finished in 2nd. They had a great last week. Italy came in 3rd, the host country. And then Germany and Japan round out the top 5. Now, a couple of headlines here. Obviously, one that we all care about is the hockey. Men's hockey, women's hockey, gold for both. I will mention that Jack Hughes, if you are living under a rock, he scored the game overtime winning gold, or the golden goal, as they like to call it.
How great was the picture with his teeth missing?
With his teeth missing. Flag over his shoulders, and one he's biting the gold medal on another one. Just phenomenal story. Megan Keller scored the women's golden goal in overtime, but that was really set up by Hillary Knight. She had an awesome redirect under a minute to go in the game. They were down 1, and they tied it with the goalie pulled with a great redirect.
Now, of course, I think O'Leary would have watched the men's game, but I'm not sure he watched the women's game.
It doesn't seem like he would have.
Everybody was watching, though, in 1980, and everybody was watching this Sunday.
They were,
right?
46 to the day. Yeah. 46 years later. I will mention there was some...
By the way, I didn't watch the women's final either. I have to admit that.
You're horrible. I will some members of the Canadian team, as well as the coaching staff, was poo-pooing the overtime rules. Now, I will mention this. If it wasn't for those overtime rules, they might have lost in the quarterfinals to Check.
But it's one of those things, Scooter, that when it works in your favor, you
have no
seem to be
problem with
okay with it.
You have no problem. Right? Oh,
Suddenly
great.
it's
Great
not fair.
system.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
3-on-3. You don't get this little redirect Nancy goal. You get it's a skill goal. It's a good shot, which I will tell you, Megan Keller's shot was a great pass to get her set up, and she did a great deke and scored it right in the 5-hole. It was a great move, great play. Same with Jack Hughes. That was a great poke check.
Yes.
Up the boards. They get it over to him. He's flying down the left side of the rink, and 5-hole, the Canadian, I can't remember his name because who cares? They lost. And
although the goalkeeping in that, I think it's Bennington.
Hellebuck.
I think Bennington was the keeper for Canada.
Yeah. Hellebuck
he's unbelievable. Yes.
Again, Jim Craig stood on his head.
He won.
Hellebuck stood on his head. Absolutely.
Yep.
That one save with the stick behind the back. Oh, it was unreal. They really, I mean, yes.
That game could have been 5-2 easily.
Easily. But I do have one great stat about the Canadian team. In the 3 elimination games that they played, they led for 6 minutes total. So don't worry about overtime. Just score more goals. So maybe you have a lead here more than 6 minutes of the entire 3 games that you played.
I think you could give motivational speech to the Canadians. I really do. I think they would appreciate your insight.
I want to walk up and go, hey, guys, I have an idea. Score more. Just try it.
Yeah. And they haven't thought of that.
I don't think they thought of it. I don't think so. Alyssa Liu, USA women's figure skater, took the gold. She was phenomenal. Amber Glenn, though, had a really rough short program. She did great in the free skate, but finished 5th. Amber Liu, though, not Amber. Alyssa Liu, yeah, okay. Alyssa Liu did win a goal. She was great in the...
What you put in that wine tonight? Is there
That's why I don't drink wine. Another big story coming out was obviously the quad god. He finished 8th after his free skate. He had multiple falls, sadly. So he did not show out what he's got. He'll be back in 4 years, and hopefully he will. We did great.
It can get so mental when
you got one chance, right? It's one shot. Jordan Stoltz actually won 3 medals. He won the 1,500 for speed skating. He won the gold, and he took the silver in the 1,500. Phenomenal performance by him. We did well in the bobsled as well with a few medals from Elena Taylor Myers, who tied Bonnie Blair with the most medals in the Winter Olympics for a women Olympian in the Winter Olympics. We got a couple other things. Jessie Diggins, she won the bronze in cross country skiing. This is her final Olympics. This was her 4th and final Olympics.
Oh, wow.
And obviously we are still dominating on skis. Alex Ferreira won the half pipe gold, and our mixed aerials won the team gold. We didn't do that great in snowboard, but skiing, we did very well in skiing. And I'm also going to be sending out on Instagram all the lists of the winners. I have a great slide that lists all our winners and what medals they won. So that will go out on Instagram. But obviously, I didn't want to. I'd be here for a half hour going over everything.
Well, you can tell you're passionate about the Olympics, and some of our listeners are going to be very passionate about your summary.
I know 2 of them will.
maybe even more.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
I will mention short track speed skating. Corinne Stoddard won the bronze, which was very well. We didn't do that great in speed skating on the short track speed side. On the longer distances, we did better, but she did take the bronze in the short track. We will now move on to our final topic, which is futures.
This is, to me, this is really preliminary, this stuff with baseball, right? I mean, one of the things I like to do myself is pick a few teams, just like for the NBA.
Yep.
By the way, the Charlotte Hornets hit their total already over that 26.5. So we put a couple of futures for season bets. I've already had my counts been credited. It popped way up. We had a double play on that. One of my sons, Eric, and myself each had over, and we have a little thing where we, put some action on teams that we think are going to be good for the season. And the Hornets, I also have them to win the division, which is still alive.
Yep.
And that was 125 to 1. So we hit the season total, and this one, I mean, it's our second win, and you don't usually win these season totals in February when
No,
the season
that's
goes till
early.
April.
Yeah.
But that's an NBA, just a sidebar in the NBA and the futures, because what's great about it is you put that money up, you do tie it up, right? You bet a little more
You
because
do.
it's a future, but per game, you've got something kind of invested, and then when the thing hits, you get the pile of money, and you're not handicapping it day to day. So but you still have sort of a team or two or three or four that you're rooting for. So I think that I do the same thing in baseball. I don't really handicap daily games and bet baseball on a daily
Baseball's tough to
basis. It's
bet.
hard. You
It's
really
tough.
have to be into it. You have to really have
Yeah.
all of the statistical and a lot of time and all the statistical metrics to be effective in that. I think some people who do it regularly can make money
To me,
in
it's a
baseball.
fantasy thing. I've never had the wherewithal to hang in there for a
You
fantasy
really
baseball
have,
league.
because it's daily. You're
It's
doing
daily.
it every single day.
It's tough.
And so, but it is fun to kind of pick a few teams and put some futures on them, and they'll have some more of these. But I'll go to mine. I right out of the gate, I took the Rangers over 83.5 wins. This is a team that did not have a great year last year, but they have an unbelievably strong pitching staff. They've strengthened that pitching staff. And I think they have, it wasn't that long ago that this team won the series,
No.
right? And I think that they just got into a bad spot last year, right? And there were teams in that division that are strong, along with the Astros, the Mariners, right? They're
Well,
not in a
that's
weak division, but here's the thing, 83.5, you're not asking for the world. You're asking for 84 and 78 with
again
a
500
strong
's
pitching,
82, so or 81.
81.
So
So strong pitching staff. And they're a team, I think, if they could get in, they're live at 30-1. So I got 30-1 to win the World Series. And there were some accounts, this is on DraftKings, where they were as low as like 23-1.
okay,
So, and then I took a flyer on the Pirates.
that's a flyer.
Yeah. But Paul Skeens, now they've got some other pitchers
I love
coming in
Paul.
that
I
are
mean, how can
young.
you not love that kid?
And there's a lot of energy in Pittsburgh. That's where my daughter lives, around this team. And I bet on them last year as well. And they did not get to their win total. And they did not get, obviously, to the Worlds. They might have got to their win total, but they didn't have a great season. So I didn't like the over on the win total at 78.5, because they could become 78 and 84, have a decent year,
Yeah.
and not hit that. So that didn't feel great. But I did think that I put a World Series bet on them at 100-1.
I mean,
It's a real
that's a
long shot.
stretch.
And I may find a way to bet them a little bit more if I research them, but I haven't done a ton of research yet on the baseball. So that's what I've come up with so far.
I've done a ton of research. The only team I've really looked into are the Yankees, and we'll have a slide next because we'll go over a couple of pros and cons for them. However, I did pick them to under 90.5. Now, I've bet the Yankees over 91.5, I want to say 3 years in a row. And I was hoping to go under 91.5. I couldn't find it anywhere. It's at 90.5.
Yeah.
I would have liked 91.5, but I'm taking 90.5. Now, why am I doing the under? This really just comes down to Rodon and Cole. They are due back later. It's going to go one of either way. They're either going to come back and they're going to be healthy enough and they're going to completely contribute. I'm hedging a little bit because I can see it taking longer than two or three starts, and they could run a few more losing streaks, and this falls under 90.5.
80, 88 and 74 is still a good year.
Phenomenal. They're still making the playoffs, right? They're still there. Again, San Diego Padres at 28-1. I mainly took them. I like San Diego. I like who they have on the team. I think last year, towards the last third of the season, they kind of just fell off. And I don't know why. It could happen again, but at 28-1, I'm gonna take a chance.
And you're not playing a season win total on them.
No.
You're just like, if they get hot and make the playoffs.
Make the playoffs.
Right.
Because I think they really have the talent and they should make the playoffs, I think. But we'll see. I gotta do obviously more research, and the Guardians, it was a flyer pick.
I've done this with the Guardians before. They always seem to overachieve. Now, I do know some of the experts. I think Gil Alexander on VSiN, his most confident pick is they go under 80.5 wins.
Yeah.
Right. And if you win 80 games, you're not going to make the playoffs. No. But I think, again, you're not betting a season total here. You're betting that they surprise people and make the playoffs.
And it's 50-1.
Right.
Right. And now here's where I go with the Yankees again. I go Garrett Cole at 60-1. Yes. Is this
It's a
A
flyer.
long shot, absolutely.
Right.
Again, he may not be back till June, end of May, early June, and then who knows. But I think he has a chip on his shoulder. I think he wants to prove people wrong, and I could see him just dominating when he does get back.
Yep.
And if he does, I'm going to lose my under bet, and I'll have no problem losing that under bet because hopefully I win the Cy Young bet. And then I like Phillies. I like Zach Wheeler at 20-1.
He's always in the mix.
He's always in the mix.
Yeah.
So I took a flyer. That's not even really a flyer. I like Zach Wheeler. And listen, Phillies are going to win some games, so I think he has a chance.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with that division is
over
that everybody is, I mean, the Mets have upgraded their team. Philly's going to be strong. The Braves could have a bounce back year. You got, I think the Nationals in there. They're pretty terrible.
They're going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I will say, I think the over under, or the only time you got plus money on Zach was over 16 wins. So I'll take that as a flyer for Cy Young.
No, I like these long shots. It's kind of like the ones again in the NBA that are alive for me, like Coach of the Year, San Antonio coach, most wins, San Antonio. I got that at like 40-1.
I told you it wasn't going to happen. It was going to be the Thunder. We're not going to talk about the Thunder right now.
You brag about the Thunder.
I did.
You have not. You've stopped doing that.
Yeah, luckily. I stopped doing that. You called it. You said they were going to lose a bunch of games, and they're losing a bunch of games lately. Now I did this slide. I looked at. There's a betting guide that's put out by Veasan. We always mention Veasan. It's a service that we subscribe to and listen to. But they have some great researchers that do some phenomenal work. And they put out their betting. Unbelievable. And they put out that betting guide. So I was looking at the Yankees betting guide, and this is kind of what I came up with for some pros and cons. Obviously, Aaron Judge is a huge pro. His WAR, I still think, is off the charts.
Yep.
They do have their core powers returning, between which is Judge, Bellinger, Stanton, and Chisholm.
Stanton, I don't know if he can just stay healthy.
Again, Stanton and Chisholm, both of them. Chisholm is a streaky player. Stanton just has to stay healthy. Obviously, Max is going to lead the staff. The big question mark is how Colin Rodon.
They get those two guys healthy. That's three.
Which is why pitchers. The last one is it could be the deepest rotation by the summer.
Right.
Which it could be. That's 3 aces going 1, 2, 3 essentially. But we do have some cons. Obviously, their hitters may regress. Who knows? The lineup is strong, but it absolutely is aging. Stan and Judge are a year older on both of them. It's always been a heavy reliance on power. The bullpen was a huge question mark last year.
And the closing situation is tough there too.
Bednar did not have a good year last year. You have to hope he turns it around.
How many times have we watched Yankee closers in the last 3 or 4 years just blow game after game?
Well, because we were so spoiled with Mariano.
I know.
I mean, that was just insane. Yankees had an incredibly poor strand percentage, which is when the bullpen comes in, the men left on base, they are not stranding them on base. They're letting them score.
That's not really what you want out of your
bullpen. They're only keeping about 69% or 68% of the men on base. The other 30% are scoring, which is a little high.
Do you know the other night it was Sunday night, and there'd been all of the heavy day of sports, and I sat down and I'm like, and I found this channel that had some historical Yankee and stuff, and it was around the years of Reggie Jackson, so 77 to 81, right? And Billy Martin, and I got locked into that thing, and I actually had to start going back through my head from that era versus the era in the 90s when they also went on that huge heater with Joe Torre. And it's amazing how you're like, that guy played in the 70s. That guy played in that. Like you're actually trying to recreate in your mind, your memory of what happened for me almost 50 years ago with a team in the 70s.
And I was 7 in 77.
And Billy, but I remember being old enough. Yeah, I mean, and I was old enough to watch that whole Billy Martin drama where he got fired 5 times. And when he died in a car accident, and he was always kind of heavy into the sauce, he was the passenger, and he basically, the truck got hit something head on, not like another car, like a tree or something, killed him. And he was supposed to come back and manage in 1990. He was 62, and it would have been the 6th time that he returned. And they even had a commercial about arguing, the two of them, and then Steinbrenner saying, "Okay, you're fired." It was an unbelievable, like to relive that the other night. I just thought I'd throw that out there because
Again, there was no
I
one
used to
better.
love Billy Martin, but he was a head. I mean, oh my god!
But what a baseball mind!
Yes.
I mean, what he just knew everything about the game.
Yeah, like Earl Weaver from the Orioles.
Yes,
those two guys.
Yep.
And now they have a bunch of yahoos managing some of these teams.
Well, now it's a binder.
Yeah.
You don't know who's managing the team.
No.
They're up in an office somewhere on a computer.
Exactly.
You don't know
There's no creativity.
No. All right. So that is the episode. I'm pretty sure it will actually go to
with production. It's done. We're going to take a look
actually
and
listen to it, and hopefully it's all good. Tom, thank you for coming. Everyone, thank you for watching. Again, one and done. If you haven't signed up, please sign up. If you made it this far, thank you. And we will see you next week.